Hey, Kevin here, top 100 financial advisor, two-time author, one-time bestseller, and I am excited to show you guys a few things. We're really gonna we're gonna play a game. We are going to play a game that I hope you guys like. As we get ready, make sure you go ahead and on your tablet, smartphone, whatever your device is, go ahead and hit the share button, and we'll get started momentarily. I am waiting for my stuff to load here. So I too can practice what I preach as always. Right? Scrolling, make sure that you hit the share button. What we're going to talk about is a few stocks, real scenarios, and I want to figure out what type of investor you are and see if you can make the right choice, or I want to see what choice you make. 'Cause there is no real right or wrong answer. I'm very interested to see how you react to this game that I created 8 minutes ago. All right, so I have my phone here so I can check for the comments. If y'all are ready, let me know so you can hear and see, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna bring up the whiteboard, my handy dandy whiteboard. And what I've done is taken a few stocks that people have been talking about. I'm not going to tell you which one is which until the very end. So I have stocks A, B, C, and D. You don't know which stocks they are, but I have their performance. So I'm going to go and describe how this game will work. So in the comments, you tell me once I describe each of the four stocks, which one would you invest in and why? So which one of these stocks would you invest in and why? So I'm going to show you here first is stock A. And in this middle column, the market, so the stock market has been up 150% since 2010. So going back 10 years, stock market is up 150%. So that's going to be the same in every column. So I'm comparing over the last 10 years what the overall stock market has done versus this particular stock, and then versus how well it did since January of this year. And you are going to tell me which one you would invest in. All right, got it? All right, so stock A, stock market has been up 150%. Since 2010, this stock has been up 174%. But since January of 2020 of this year, the stock is down 56%. All right, so that's stock A. Stock B has been up since 2010, 260%. But since January, it's down 53%. Then we've got, I'm going to shrink this a little bit. There we go. And then you have stock C right here. Again, market's been up 150%. Since 2010, this stock has been down 47%. And since 2020 of this year, clearly, this stock has been down 75%. And then lastly, stock market has been up 150%. This stock has been up 701% since 2010, and right now, as of since January, it's been up 9%. Which one of these stocks would you invest in and why? So I'm going to check my comments real quick. There we go. Make sure that you hit the share button because this is a really good thought experiment. All right. So are you picking stock A, B, C, or D? So we know the market's been up 150% since 2010. So going back a decade, the market has been up 1.5 times. 1.5 times whatever, that's how much you would have had if you just put the money in the stock market. This stock since 2010 up 174, up 260, down 47, and up 701% since 2010. And then right now, this one is down 56% for the year, down 53%, down 79%, and down 9%. Let me know. Just type A, B, C, or D. Which right now? B, because it's down and has been in the past come up. Okay. So I'm gonna tally the votes. So we got one for B. We've got one for D. So D, because there's no loss, makes sense. All right, we've got two for D. You can only pick one because otherwise, like, I'm gonna just pick them all. All right, we've got three for D. All right, any others? One person says A, D, and D. All right, we'll take two more votes. Two more votes before we close, and before I tell you which stocks these are. All right, one person says B, so we got two for B. All right, one more vote. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for playing. There are no prizes, but I appreciate it. And make sure you hit the share button as well. All right, so we've got there's enough votes. So we got 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a good vote count. What are the name of the companies? I'm about to tell you in just a second. I wanted to ask you guys first. All right, so we got 6-4D. All right, here are the companies, and these are real companies, clearly, with real performance numbers since January of 2010 and since January of 2020. All right, so the first one is, and may I just zoom out this way? American Airlines. All right, so number one was American Airlines. Let me zoom out a bit more. There you go. I know my spelling is terrible, and so too is my handwriting. But we'll get over it because it's easier to make these visuals. All right, B is Boeing. I think that's how you spell Boeing. C is Carnival Cruise. And D, and change, no, you can't change a vote. No votes. No changing of votes. And then the last one is Dollar General. All right. There you go. So you got American Airlines, Boeing, Carnival Cruises, and Dollar General. Now, why is this important? So if you if you're trying to go and change your vote, you're changing your vote based on the name of the company and not the performance. What you want to do is make your decision based on the math, not like, oh, do I like this company? Do I ride this airline? Do I know it? It's let me check the actual numbers. And these are real numbers from 2010 and from this year of 2020. So right here, and I will make this green, Dollar General ain't took no losses since 2010. No, you tell me it's up 700% in the last 10 years. And right now, when the overall market is down 25%, while American Airlines, Boeing, and Carnival Cruise is down 75%, this one's up 9. And 9 is decent, especially in this economy. But no, people don't want to pay attention to that. They want to go for, I'm going to just buy low just for the sake of buying low without really understanding what's actually going on. Yeah, everybody wants to buy cheap stocks until they see this. Exactly. So that's like, yeah, I'm gonna buy a cheap stock because it's down real low. It's like, okay, like when you really look at, I'm just make this a better color. You look at Carnival Cruise Lines, bruh, it's been down 47 cents for 47 cents, 47% for 10 years. It could come back, but come back to what? Like when you're down 75%, anything is going to be up from here, right? So yeah, it could come up, but is that something you really want to put your money in for the long term? Do you know, or would you know, when to exit and when to like make the right move? That's difficult to do. You can, I mean, all these stocks are cheap, or they were anyway. Even if the economy does come back, which it will, it's hard to say that I would put my money in something that's been down 47% for the past 10 whole years and then down 75% just this year alone. Carnival Cruise is even worse than Boeing and American Airlines. If I had to pick between those two, I'm going. They've been up 260% and they're down 53 versus American Airlines, which is down slightly less. But I mean, look at the numbers. This is when you start to choose what you want to invest in and why you want to invest in it. You want to pay attention to the numbers, and this is a lot of about what I teach in the class I'll be teaching next week. That link in class is free. It's in the bio above in the description. But it's also the things I teach in my courses. Like you want to understand how do you understand what the stock is doing and how it's done in the past. And while it will not always predict the future, it does give you at least a decent idea of what's to come. So again, I don't think Boeing is going to be down forever. I think Boeing eventually will come up. I personally would put my money more towards a Boeing than American Airlines, even though Boeing still has issues. They still got issues. So that's not to say that they're scot free, and once it's over, everything's going to go back up. But in 10 years, they did way better than the market average, which was 150%. These other stocks, or Carnival Cruise Lines especially, isn't necessarily the same. And we could have done this with Delta. I'm just erasing these marks. We could have done this with Delta. We could have done this with JetBlue, Spirit. A lot of the numbers are going to be the same because they're all within the same group. I think Delta is a bit better than American. But again, this shows you, like, everybody, most of everybody went and chose D because you looked at the numbers. And before we even put in everything else, what was the name of the company and do I like the product? When you move this aside, it won't let me move it. Do it this way. When you move that aside, we all made the right choice. But when we started to see what the name of the company was, like, oh, let me change, let me do this, let me do that, which is not always the way you want to be. So I think D, was the right choice if there had to be a right choice. I think B, for a long-term play, I think is okay because I see this here. I see it's been pretty good over 10 years. So 10 years from now, hopefully it would be somewhere within that range. And for Boeing, which is such a huge company, America's biggest exporter, they're a little too big to just fall off the map completely. So I think that might be okay. Again, over 10 years, I don't think over the next year or two, it could still probably be a little more shaky. So that's a quick game. I'll take any questions that you guys may have. Thank you for playing. Again, this is how you want to approach your investing, is saying, how well did this stock actually do? And do a blind resume test if you can. Take the names off, look at the numbers, and make a decision. Because in this instance, 90% of us, or however many people are here, made the smart choice. You made the right investing choice, which means that you don't have to be an expert, but you do have to take the emotions out of it. You have to take the names out of it. And you have to be able to find this information, which is actually pretty easy to find. But you have to be able to pull that off. If you can't do that, then it's going to be very, very difficult to be a good investor, because some people right now, people who aren't doing this, and you guys have seen this on social media, everybody is just buying the cheap stocks. People right now are doing this. They're buying all of this because it's Carnival and because it's cheap. They don't know about Dollar General down here. They might know about Boeing. They may know about that. But everybody in the world, like, I'm getting Carnival, I'm getting all this stuff because it's $5, because it's $6, because it's $10, and not really paying attention to where the real money is and not taking these losses down here. I don't know about you, but if I don't have to lose money, I'm not to lose it. And we know also that for a while, like, can Carnival Cruise Lines come back? They can, but if it goes up 30%, you're still down. So you still have to look at that. Carnival Cruise Lines can go up 30% this year and still be down 40%, 45% to be exact. So you always want to look at things in context. And when you don't have the right context, when you're not here on channels and videos like this, you can make easy mistakes and lose money by doing that. Because again, I don't have to lose. I can get something that's been making me money for 10 years and that's making money right now, as opposed to losing money in the short term and probably losing money for the next several years. So you always keep that in mind about when you're investing. Keep an eye on, like, what's actually going on and keep things in context. Because again, it can go up 30% right now. It can go 30% up this. You say, "Oh my God, it's up 30%." I was like, but you still down 40% from January. You still lost money if you started in January. Now, if you start on a different date, you can always say, play the what if game if you chose, yesterday than today or whatever. But these are the things you have to pay attention to if you're trying to figure out where to invest, and pay attention to what other people are doing. Because if other people can't play this right, if other people are just saying, I'm just doing Carnival, ask them why. They're going to still say because it's low. Okay, well, this is going up. So what? Like, so it's low, so you want to jump into something that's losing money right now and may take forever to recover? They don't know. They're just jumping into it. These are the things you have to know if you are a new investor, if you're trying to do the right thing. So I think it is okay now, given the numbers. I think it's okay to go here, but you have to be in it for the long term. And then obviously it's okay to be here. So Not a recommendation that you have to buy the stock. I'm not telling you that. But these are the things you want to incorporate in your research process. And these are the questions you want to ask yourself before you start investing. How well has it done over the past 10 years, 6 years, whatever year frame you want to use? And how well has it done recently in the last year? That's what's going to give you a good enough measure to say, hey, maybe I should put my eye on this. Maybe I want to invest in this. All right. So this is very informative. Where do you find it? Great question. So I have a few tools that I use that I pull from Yahoo Finance is one of my favorites. You can easily get this here. It'll give you, you can put in like, from this date to this date, it'll give you a chart and you can kind of information from there. Totally free. I like the app. Again, it's one of my favorite resources. I actually did some videos on it not too long ago to kind of show you that. If you have $100,000 cash, what can you invest in? You can invest in anything you want to invest in. What would I invest in? Different question. I would invest in a bunch of places, but yeah, if you have $100,000, you can invest anywhere you want. What I would do is try to find as much of this as I can, which clearly over the last 10 years they've been great. I would try to find out what other stocks are very similar to that. Is it, and I don't know this, I would need to do my research too. Would it be Amazon or Microsoft? Could it be a Walmart, a Costco? Probably Costco is probably similar. We would have to go and do the math to see. So these are the things you want to look at and test and see before you put your money into it, and don't just jump for the cheap stock. If I put the stock prices, and maybe we'll do this next time. If I were to sit here and put the stock prices on there, I guarantee you people would have chose C more because it's $5 or $6 or whatever it is. That don't matter, and that's why I didn't put it on here at all. The stock price doesn't matter. What matters is the company making you money? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, then you don't invest. It's that simple. But a lot of people get caught into the stock price and not how well the company is actually done. All right. So I answered the question, where do you get this type of info? Will the webinar next week go over this more in detail, how to look at stock performance? Yes. So I am redoing the slides. I'm like updating them a bit because I don't like the old format. And there are slides where I actually show you from Yahoo Finance a chart, and I'll show you like, here's how you break this down. So what a stock symbol is. This is how you find out what the price is, and this is how you see how it's done over the last like 5 years or so. So yeah, I have an entire little section dedicated directly to something like this. And what I might do, since y'all are here, I might add something very similar to this. I might. I have to figure out a way to make it a little more neat as opposed to me writing on the screen. But yeah, I think this was a very productive exercise. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you share this video, put it in whatever groups that you guys are in, because and I know too. I got friends. It's like, I'm buying the cruise lines. I'm like, okay, go ahead. If they jump 30%, you would have made 30%, but it's still down 40% for the year. Whatever, right? You can pick that. You can pick something that when this thing is over, people aren't going to jump on cruises tomorrow. It's going to be a while before we trust getting back on a dirty boat. So it's going to be a while. Like, why would I do that when I knew I can make money right now, and I know it has been making money for quite some time? The choice is simple. Choice is very simple. All right. So again, thank you guys for coming. Make sure you share this in your groups. Make sure you hit the share button all the time. Thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys later.